Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm referring to various time zones, and that's the reason I had addressed with various greetings for the morning, evening, and afternoon. Welcome, everybody, to this Docker Training National Level Initiative by IIEC. It's an expertise in Docker training from basic to advanced level. Let me just brief introduction, a very quick introduction for a minute, and then we will have Mr. Vimal Daga for this training forward. We have more than 500 plus companies, participants who are participating for this, more than 5,000 plus professionals. Just a small thing about Mr. Vimal Daga to give you an introduction, a few 30 seconds, small just video, and then Mr. Vimal Daga would be here to carry forward this training. So, fine, I would like to have Mr. Vimal Daga here to take it forward from here onwards. Thank you.
So, all right, guys. Let me see if I'm online or not. Right? Yeah. So, so first of all, guys, a very warm welcome from my side, and I would like to also welcome you guys as from the basis of IISc community. Very happy to see such a great crowd. I believe this would be the first time happening. More than I believe, according to my database, 5,000 plus participants, right? The professionals, I believe, from all across all the top companies. Maybe if you talk about Google, if you talk about Facebook, GE, PwC, Deloitte, Samsung, Wipro, Accenture, Capgemini, all the company, Microsoft, Amazon, right? So I'm very happy to see 500 plus different companies are participating in this particular campaign, plus in this training also, right? And so before, guys, I start, let me tell you, this is not just a workshop, and this is not just a webinar. This is a full-fledged training on Docker, and that's again from the very basics. We're gonna start until the expertise level, right? Uh, Even though, let me add one more point here that we haven't showcased in our campaign and all our marketing campaign actually. So for me, this training is not only that we're gonna start from the basics to expertise. My goal also to train you guys in how to create a product like Docker. Okay, because because under the IIEC, that is called Indian Innovation and Entrepreneurship Community, whatever we are dealing with, right, whatever we are doing here, so we are trying to promote our Indian engineer. Maybe it would be pursuing student, maybe it would be corporate guys, to train you guys or mentally train you guys to not only just to work on that is already been there, also to think like to create a product, something like this. So in the whole journey of program, okay, this program would be 15 hour plus something, depends upon your Q&A and everything. So my whole and soul was to train you so that you can do everything in the Docker, plus also train you mentally or give you the path and approach also to think and create a product something like Docker, maybe similar or maybe other kind of products also, right? This is one of my main goal toward this training. Second thing is what I want to tell you here is because you know what, yeah, first of all, this training is absolutely free. There is no hidden charge. Okay, and even though I believe, because I've been engaged with multiple corporates in my life, right? Again, done multiple consulting and multiple Docker training also, right? So we charge a huge, right, for the Docker training. So whatever content normally we charge, whatever the content of the classroom training, what are the content of the online instructor-led training, or any kind of recorded video, I'm giving you guarantee the content of this Docker training would be 10 times more from the content whatever you've seen. Okay, the use case that I'm going to discuss in this training would suffice all the use cases, all the challenges you guys might facing. Maybe you guys already working on the Docker, maybe you guys are somehow certified on the Docker, maybe you guys are the new in the Docker, it doesn't matter, right? Maybe lots of pursuing student maybe attending this training. Okay, so the way I designed this program, the way I created this program, it will suffice all of you guys. Plus it also give you a broader insight about the Docker, because you know what, my challenge is that I'm taking right now. At the day end of this training, you guys would not think to just work on the Docker. You'll get such a curiosity. Let's build our product something like this. That's one challenge I'm going to tell you. One more thing, guys, I don't want to invest our time or waste our time in my introduction. Maybe a lot of guys might know me, but as a high level, I worked with lots of creators of that technologies, right, in my career. I believe all the Fortune 500 country companies I've worked on, right, with not only Docker. If you see my LinkedIn profile, I believe I've worked in 100 plus different technology, and a lot of technical folks say the profile that I carry in the LinkedIn, they haven't seen, because I created multiple world record also in the technological world, and the global certificate that I have in my portfolio is huge, right? So my main point here is I work with multiple creators, and so what I've learned from the creator and from their thinking, because they are not the user of the technology normally, right? They always think out of the blue. They always wanted to create something new for our global world, or for our guys, right, for the corporate world, right? So the same thought I would like to give you here. So I just need 2 more minutes, then I would like to directly dive into the Docker. So I just want to tell you why I keep this Docker training and with a 10x time more content as a free of cost, right? This is one thing, and not is it is not the first time we are doing. We are running with one great campaign. I believe under the IIEC Rise. That campaign are having 18,000 plus pursuing in engineering student, right? And this is the biggest training program happening in the world, right, where 18,000 plus, I think 18,500 student running learning in parallel. It's not recorded video, it's a live classroom based or like live online based instructor training program, and they are learning the latest version of Red Hat RSCSA program with Python 3. Again, the 10x time 10 times more content whatever we have, it's again free of cost, right? So lots of initiative we are doing under the ISA Rise. The question is why we are doing this training, why it is free. So I would like to tell you those things. Before this, I just want to I want to like to share you my just a LinkedIn profile, just to give you the high level idea. I think my screen is visible to you guys. So it's pretty simple. If you search my name, Vimal Daga, in the LinkedIn, you can get my profile. This is one small thing, and the one great thing that I would like to tell you guys here, done lots of things, got a lot of records in my portfolio. But the great thing that I would like to tell you guys about me, I worked with a lot of creators. I meet with a lot of creators. I exchange the ideas, how they think, how they thought, right, in my life. So if you talk about the Docker, the creator of the Docker is Solomon Hayek. Um, 1 minute. This is a guy. This is me actually. So long ago. So I was with him, shared lots of ideas, how lot of things, and you know what? By meeting with these kind of creators or the technocrats or these kind of core teams or the developers, I learn a lot. I start researching a lot about the technologies, and I felt now, because I got those things in my life, in my uh, what I say, in this technological world. I normally, whatever I deliver, right, to, especially in this IIEC community, this called Under the Rise. Um, I always wanted you guys to think like a creator. So just one last 2 minutes, right? Let me sync with my thought, and then I would like to start with the Docker, right? Then we'll share the agenda first, what the content we are going to deliver in this program. But before, let me sync you guys with my thought. So whatever we deliver, whatever I deliver in this Docker training, you you should understood why I'm doing, why I'm just talking in this term, right? So you guys will be very much sync with me, right? So about me, I started my company, this called Linux World, when I was in the first year of my engineering. It's been long ago, I believe 17 plus year it's been, right? Or so till the fourth year of my engineering, I have traveled across the world. Approx 50% of the company I've worked with, as a freelancer, as a corporate trainer, as a consultant, as an integrator in all the biggest, all the core domains of that particular time. But you know what? When I keep on asking to the foreign clients or the technical folks over there, I always ask about our Indian engineers, right? Okay, and I always ask how they are doing. How their feedback would be over there, right? And you know what? I always get fantastic feedback about the engineering in Indian engineers over there. They say these guys are the real engineers. They work very hard, really hard. I feel always, wow, if somebody talk about great about the India, right? But I don't know, guys, what happened from last couple of years. Okay, I'll take this point in very in a different way. Okay, again, same thing, I keep on asking about those guys to those guys about the Indian engineers. Again, the same answer: we the Indians are the great, and we are the great engineers, we are the great corporate managers, and all those kind of feedback I always get, right? I don't know why I'm start feeling bad about it. Okay, because you know what they are trying to say? They are trying to say we, the Indian, are the great workers. Okay, and you guys know the Hindi meaning of the work. I don't want to take those words right now. So you know what? I'm surprised to see we as Indian engineers or the Indian corporate guys or Indian professionals, we work with those companies. We are the top leader in those company, maybe CIO, CISO, CEO of those company, but none of the biggest technological company has been created by Indian. Okay, none of the biggest technological, the transform the technological the products or base has been created by the Indians. Okay, Google is not created by us, Amazon, Facebook, all the core technical product I'm talking about. I'm not talking about we don't have those kind of innovation in our mind, but I'm talking about the because you know what, if you want to change the economy of a country or a nation, right, we want such creation to come from India. The point is, guys, either we don't have a capability, or so if you don't have a capability, we never think on those lines. We are happy to work for some other company, right? but I've seen we have a capability. Okay, recently, last this week only, I was solving one great use case of US government, of some core, and I sold those use cases for them. So even though I also those company or for those country, right? But you know what's in the same time, I always, so I'm waiting for, yeah, I'll get it. So guys, right now the location where I am has little bit issue in the networking. You might see some delay or maybe some seconds of disconnection in the network, guys, so please bear with me. So so it's not about I'm just giving you a lecture right now. We have created the platform where we are developing it, and we are very much successful on those part. And so that's the motto, that's all. So why we are delivering this kind of high-end technological training to you guys, because during the training I keep on poking you, keep on touching you, that you guys are using the Docker right now. It is already been created. Obviously you should know, because the core standard technology right now in the industry, right? You should know how to work on the Docker, but this at the same time you should also know how to create the technology, something like this. So in the long run, if you really want to be known as a creator, right, of to known as a creator of the technology, or some of the technologies come with your name, that I always wanted you from you guys. So I think this training will help you. That's my main say over here, right? So this is the one of the great reason why this kind of high-end training is free for you guys. Okay, because my intention would be, I would like to train you in such a way that you can create products something like this. Okay, so this my main whole and soul intention of this training. So let me directly jump first to the agenda of this training, right? High level agenda of this training. So somewhere I'll have 1 minute, please. Okay, so I already posted somewhere over here. 1 minute, please. Mm, in my LinkedIn only. So just a minute, yeah. So I'll just I've just posted the high level agenda of this training. All right, in the Docker world. If you know, if you want to know something about images, container, volume, storage, security, Docker Compose, multi-container, how to create your private registries, all the things if you want to build with lots of use cases, Docker files, how to create the Docker internally, right? All those things, or your office daily work, right? Everything gonna gonna discuss in this particular training. This is a high level agenda, guys, but and none of my posts contain this particular thing, that we want you guys to think as a creator of the technology, right? So whenever, guys, I start discussing on the container, okay, I will explain you what is container, then we'll talk about multiple use cases of the container, then I'll go deep dive inside it and I'll try to show you how it has been created, wow, why this technology is wow, and why and how it's. So I'll try to show you internally. Normally it is not being trained normally, right? How the thing has been working internal, right? So I'll take you at that level. There are a lot of myth in the market about the Docker, because a lot of things Docker can't use for those purposes. We have to use Docker only for those purposes. So there's a lot of myth I would like to showcase here. Okay, so because I worked again with multiple different use cases, right? Docker, I worked with a different kind of solving DevOps issues. Docker I use in multiple, even though we create a Docker inside the cloud, you guys know, right? But we can also create a complete cloud inside the Docker. This would be again one point, right? So it would be great, great to have the complete cloud inside the Docker. Okay, we can launch Docker inside the virtual machine, right? But we can launch virtual machine inside the Docker. Okay, a lot of guys think when the Docker we can't launch a graphical OS, or we can't launch any GUI program, right? But inside the Docker we do some tricks. We can launch the graphical programs also in the Docker. Okay, so the typical use case that normally we think it to shipping our code right, to have a isolated environment inside the Docker, right? This normal use case normally we use Docker with the microservices. Normally we use the Docker to integrate with the Jenkins or some other kind of tools in DevOps environment, in testing environment, right? So these are the typical use cases, right? No doubt, right? But if you got the actual internals about the Docker, you can trick Docker anyhow, in any way, right? You can use Docker in all the possible areas. And no, normally if you know how the Docker work internally, right, it open a wider scope about the Docker use cases. Okay, and lots of things I've seen, it is that normally in the industry we think it can't be solved by Docker is not meant for these, but because we know that internally, we just trick it and start using it in that form also, right? So again, in this program, this part I haven't mentioned in the content, but because it would be harder to makes you explain with the writing the content. But but when I start going deep into the Docker, you will see the huge area and huge challenges or the use cases being solved by the Docker. But one more thing, guys, even this is the purely Docker training, right? We are not going to discuss about the clustering part here, like Kubernetes, because for me it is a different tool. um, Swarm is a clustering. It is again a different tool I normally categorized. But if you have use cases, if you have any use cases where you want me to discuss Swarm also, I am very much open. At the end of this training, we little bit extended training because this training is for 15 hours. But if we have some more use cases to be discussed, right, to discuss about the Swarm, right, how it's been used with affinity and constant, lots of things there to expose and other things, so we can do. If you think you want me to discuss how to integrate Jenkins with the Dockers, we'll discuss. If you want to integrate any APM tool like AppDynamics, New Relic, Splunk, maybe how to use Splunk to monitoring your Docker and all those kind of things, I am very much open. If you have use case to understand the use cases of microservices, I am again very much open. We keep on extending this training. So for me, it is not a 15-hour constraint, but just the content that I created just for Docker, it is of 15 hours. But in the Q&A at the time of discussing, guys, we will extend this training if you guys want. I am very much okay, right? Again, I'm not promoting that you have to go for some advanced program for Jenkins integration for Swarm, and that time you have to pay. Nothing like this, guys. I'm very much clear, right? Whatever the initiative we are doing inside this IIC Rise, it would be absolutely free, right? There would be no future charge because my intention is very clear. If you see me, even though I'm the TEDx speaker, talk in multiple as a keynote speaker also for multiple platform, right? I always talk about making India, and that's the true sense I am working on. Again, and I believe you guys has that capability to create something new. That's I know from my heart, right? That's the things, right? And with one man, I am alone can't do anything great, right? I need a team like you. I need everybody has to think in this. And idea is simple, guys. If you think like a creator, if you start learning at that level, right, maybe you might fail, maybe, right, but if you fail you might reach here. Okay, and what is this reach? This reach is you guys are expertise in that part. So if you are working in some company as a job and some projects, right, you already have the great idea on these tools or technology, you can solve your daily use cases. Okay, but if succeed, If you whatever you are researching or innovating, it didn't succeed, it will be great for us, for everybody, right? This the high level sense I would like to give here, right? So that's all, guys. It all about the way we think, right? One more last thing I would like to tell you guys about the guy who create the Docker, his Solomon Hayek. I'm very highly impressed the journey of this guy, right? And I'm talking about Solomon Hayek. You know what, guys, just want like 2 more minutes, let because this normally motivate us, right? Motivate me actually, at least when I understand these kind of, the way these guys grow, right? I remember, guys, in 2013 when this guy launched Docker, right? And publicly this guy announced in 2013. And that time, guys, nobody know who is Solomon Hayek, nobody know what is Docker, right? Okay, and in some conference or some summit, this guy present himself that I am Solomon Hayek. This is the Docker kind of stuff or tool we have created. You know what, this is a very small conference, very little crowd, nobody knew. Somebody only given 10 minutes to Solomon Hayek to talk, just 10 minutes, and he has to cover complete this his stuff in 10 minutes. Okay, I remember his talk. Just for your reference, I would like to share this link to you. Okay, this one, right? So in 2013, I believe, in March, this guy has very less crowd. If you see here, right? I don't want to play this video, but if you from here, if you notice, this is Solomon Hayek is to keep on talking about the future, the containers, all the things he's talking about. He show one demo, right? And you know what, finally, when I'll share this link to you, finally somebody announced, hey, your time up, and you have to go from here. 10 minutes completed. Okay, but the way explain the Docker here, it's surprised, right? Because in one single second, in just a second, your OS launched. Okay, in just 1 second. Okay, 1 second your environment created, right? Is a wow for everybody, and it will be a mouth publicity. So it was a time, guys, about 2013, right? But just in 3 years, what I've seen, the way he created this technology, the way Docker technologies is solving great use cases for our corporate industries or for our different use cases in all the different areas where we are facing the challenges. um, you know what happened, guys, just in three because I've worked in yeah, I believe almost all the technology, from augmented reality, IoT, machine learning, deep learning, all different libraries, Python, Linux, 15 different languages I worked on, OpenStack, Splunk, tons of tools I've worked in. But this is the one tool I've seen in my career that is a huge transform, that give a huge transform in our IT industry. Okay, and now from onwards, after 2013 or to 15, 13, 14, 6, 15, 16, 2015, right, the world starts seeing and solving their use cases in very different approach, and it is a great tool that we start integrating with our DevOps approach, right? All those things, right? So okay, so just in 2 or 3 years, I've seen almost all the industry from all the domains, from banking to consulting to service to products, from telecom, from everything, right? Everybody start using Dockers just in 3 years. Because I've seen there's one more great summit happen and great conference happened in Berlin. Again, I was also the part of that particular conference. I've seen in 2013 this guy has given only 10 minutes to talk, right? But in the 2016, this Solomon Hayek, where we had the biggest conference open source, almost 5,000 plus corporate leaders, the developers, engineers was the part of that conference as audience, right? Solomon Hayek was the keynote speaker. That's the biggest transform I've seen, right? Everybody was talking about him. And again, when he just moved out from the stage, the guy again called this guy to talk more about something in the Docker, right? So I'll share this video also to you. Okay, this video. I'll share this link. This is the change in 2016 or 17, I believe, right? This was talking as a keynote speaker in this conference. Okay, and what I've seen, he's talking about the Linux content. There's a huge crowd over here, right? There's a huge crowd over here. So I'm not playing this video right now, right? But let me, yeah. So so guys, right now my 1 minute, guys. So my internet is very slow. I don't know. In my region, I have, even though I have connections of internet, right? But this conference, and and again, after this, he finished his talk. Again, this guy call up and want to speak some more thing about the Docker. So I'll share this link to you guys. Okay, so more sense how the things is working, right? So again, you know what, so I would like to tell you one more small thing about the Docker. When I start understanding, right, when I start understanding about 1 minute, please, let me see my screen. 1 minute, guys, please. So what happened, guys, I when I start you know mm, uh, researching on the Docker, what I come to know, the Docker, that as a technology that changed the way we think, the way we work in the IT industry. When I start researching, you know what I come to know, it is not like that Solomon guy has created something new. Whatever the existing technology we have, he researched it. He find those issues or those challenges on using those existing technologies, and he integrated, come up with a new package, new product, or new framework called Docker. So my point is, guys, here, if you know the things from very internal, and if you know what kind of challenge we are facing, right, if you know those things, and if you research those things, okay, and if you already work in the industries and always seen some kind of use cases and challenges, or some kind of things, it is not been solved properly, right, you just get those things because you already researched, plus those new challenges, and come up with the new product. And for the industry, it become a new innovation for us, right? That's what I will try to tell you here. When in the Docker training, when I go deep dive into the Docker, I'll tell you, right, how from the existing technology we had, right, how he researched and come with the new things called Docker. If you know internally how the existing technology work, and he come from his new product, right, you get a lot of ideas, get a lot of path, and then your mind start working, and you might see, okay, I was working in this product, okay, and now we can also think in this way to come up with our own innovation, and or our own new product, right? That's what my point here is. So this is my point. So guys, let's directly dive into Docker, all right? And let's see and how we can create those things. Just give me a minute, guys, please. My screen resolution is not properly working. Just give me a minute, please. I'm holding for. Yeah, guys, one more thing, again, we have tried I have three internet connection in parallel, but um, uh, in my area we have some network issues, so we have trying to connect, even though as today Sunday, we are trying our best to connect this ISP to solve our issue. But I don't want to waste your fine time. This is the live streaming with the YouTube, so I believe whatever I'm talking right now you won't miss, right? So if you think some of the part been missed, you can in the future, we'll provide this video to you, and you can again go back and listen those point, right? This is one point. One more thing, one more point, guys, here is I'm trying to create an environment like a classroom. Okay, so because I feel, if I provided you a recorded video, right, I feel it won't help you on learning, right? If you really want to learn something new, you should be in some kind of classroom environment. So I'm in the front of you always. This is one thing. Whenever I do the practical, I will use my whiteboard to draw the things, create the diagram, so you will understand better, right? For example, if you see one, this would be something like my whiteboard. So when I start explaining you about the Docker, I will write the thing here, right? I will create the diagram, all the kind of stuffs I will do for you, right? So when I start explaining the concept, this will be whiteboard for you. And when I start doing our practical, right? For example, this is my virtual machine. I'll share my screen to you and I start doing the practicals, right? So I'll try my best to give you a environment like a classroom, right? So it don't think like this. This is the YouTube live streaming. Okay, the whatever environment you get in WebEx or Zoom or Blue Jeans, same kind of environment I am trying to give you here. Okay, and I was successful. We are done all lots of training here. Why I'm using YouTube streaming? Because we have a huge crowd attending this training. Normally WebEx and Zoom and all the platform doesn't support this much crowd, right? This is the reason I have to use this YouTube as a live stream. But I've created my studio in my system, so it will give you a real classroom moment. Plus, in between this program, I keep on enable my chat box here. That's for Q&A, so you can directly interact with me. Even though this video, whatever we'll do in this training, we available for you for 1 day, 24 hours. If somebody somehow missed due to any reason, right, they have the link to listen this video in 24 hours, right? This is one thing. But I suggest to do this training with me live, so you'll get feel a classroom environment, because in between I'll open my Q&A, and that particular time, whatever the queries you have, you can ask me. But I highly suggest only ask those query that is related to this particular topic. So that makes more sense. Don't start discussing the further things, right? Definitely in the upcoming classes, we will definitely discuss those further things. But till now, right now, okay, whatever we discuss, right, in this particular till, for example, every 13 minutes I'll start my Q&A, depend upon the logical break of the topic. So that time, whatever query you have for that particular topic, ask me. Okay, this is one thing, because again we have a huge crowd. I don't want to miss any query that whatever you have. I'll try to give the answer to all of your query. This is one thing. And before I start Docker, because this is the first day, guys, I just want to give all the policies, all the protocol that we have to follow, so our training will go in smooth. So don't think I'm just discussing here and there. I'm just giving you the process of this training, so everybody will be engaged and everybody query been solved. Okay, so this Q&A I keep on opening between the program, so you can ask me your query. So you'll have a real classroom environment feeling, right? Now, one more thing before I start and I discuss, right? That is, guys, again, we already discussed we have 5,000 plus professional from the corporate has been registered in this training. Okay, so it will be very harder for us to so whatever the information we have to provide you, it will be very harder to every time mail and SMS, right? So what we have done, we have created one Telegram channel just only for these professionals, right? It is a broadcast channel. You can't put anything here, but we can announce our things, right? So whenever we have announcement, especially the next class link and other kind of things, we will only put our in Telegram channel. So we already mail you, those guys who haven't got the haven't seen the mail. You can see one mail from IIEC Rise, where we have given you one private link only for you guys who are registered. You can go to this link and just please connect to this Telegram channel, because all the future um, information from our side, all the links, whatever we have, we will only post in this Telegram channel. That's all. We again not gonna mail you or SMS you, right? This is the one single point of contact from our side for everybody. So please connect with this Telegram channel. And if those guys who are facing issue in the connecting this private Telegram link, so we have provided 16 plus volunteer WhatsApp number. Okay, so you can contact to anybody, and take the help from these guys. So these guys will help you to connect in this Telegram channel. Okay, so we have provided you 16 plus volunteer different contact number. This will be your, you can think like a support line. You can connect these guys. So again, this is one thing. Okay, but I suggest, and then 1 or 2 days connect yourself in the Telegram channel, so all the future thing we will post there. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing, guys, for your further query and help, right, what we are doing, right, we are going to create multiple groups. Okay, again in the Telegram channel. Okay, so group might contain 50 to 100 professionals in one group. Okay, and every group is being associated with our own internal volunteer. So this would be a certified volunteer and has done lots of research in the Docker world, right? So so why we have created this group? Any of your query, because I'm going to give you lots of tasks, a lot of practicals we're going to do in this training, right? So if you have any query that is not been solved by me in this program, and if you have some extra query also, you can post in the group. Okay, and some other guys maybe from other corporate will help you, or finally our volunteer will definitely help you. Okay, so we have 100 plus technical volunteers, right, actively working for you. 100 plus volunteer who will passively working for you in multiple use cases, right? So I just try to create a huge team. It's not like only me over here. We have a huge team, certified guys also in multiple technologies, plus also guys who are great, work great in this Docker world, right? So finally, if you have a query in the Q&A, I'll try to help you. But if you're not solving any Q&A, put in your group and do your things, right? So we just require some day, maybe 4 or 5 days from today to create your groups. Okay, so from our behalf, volunteers will connect you, maybe in SMS, maybe in the email, maybe in WhatsApp number, right? And these volunteers will ask you to join one Telegram group of our IIEC channel. Okay, so this will be again one more things we are doing. So finally, till the end of your training, all the query has been solved. Okay, so I suggest everybody please join this group. We're going to create multiple groups, but it's again good, guys. You know what, if you have 50-100 guys in one group, so it will be a good connection from you. For example, one guy would be from Microsoft, one guy is from maybe from Cisco, so you also get a great connection in this group, right? So this will be again helpful for you. Okay, and one last thing, guys, before I go for the Docker, that is okay, after the completion of this training would be of 15 hours plus, maybe depend upon the different use cases you guys would ask me to discuss also in this training. So after 15 hours or after the completion of this training, we will provide you one training certificate for this training, right? So this certificate from the IIEC, and we are also making sure the certificate that is provided by IIEC will have a great value in the market, right? Because the way we are delivering the content and in this Docker, the way we are going to discuss huge multiple use cases, it create a great value of the certificate in the market, right? Again, we already have a multiple certificate or other technology also in the IIEC, right, that has a great value already, right? So this, we will provide you one training certificate after you complete this training. And for completing this training, we have some attendance system, right, that we keep on monitoring, because we have a huge team to monitor every activity. So after you have the 100% attendance of the completion of this training with all the use cases that you practiced, we will provide a certificate. Like, again, I'm repeating, this is not just a webinar that we will provide the participant certificate, right? This is a training program. After you complete your program, only then we will issue the certificate, and it will help you in promoting you guys in multiple projects in your company or maybe other company also, that has a great value in the market, right? So I suggest do this program completely. Whatever task we give to you, do it properly. Otherwise it is your choice. If you want to miss some lecture, that is your choice, but you will miss a valuable content. And I'm just giving you guarantee, even though if you guys are already going through my Red Hat Linux or Python training, every day I'm giving such a content that is not available in the Google also, not available in any of the blogs also, right? So those guys who are with me in this particular training of other products also, they know the way, the level of content we are discussing, right? So you miss the content, but we won't issue the certificate if you haven't attended the training and solve all the different use cases or the practicals. And the last thing, very small thing, right, is this training would be 95% hands-on practical. Okay, so I don't have any PPT with me. Okay, I will start explaining the core concepts. I will start explaining the architecture. I start explaining how the Docker work. Then I will directly move to the practical, right? So this training would be 95% hands-on practical. So I don't want to waste your time only in discussing, because finally, if you really want to work in the project, you should have a practical knowledge in the technology. That is again the one thing. Okay, and one very small thing, this training we only do in weekends only. Okay, especially in Saturday, Sunday, and the average time for this training would be 3 to 4 hours. Okay, depend upon the content that we have to discuss on this Saturday and Sunday. Typically time would be morning 9 a.m., but if we have little bit change, we will announce you in our Telegram channel. But normally the typical time would be 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and we have a grace period of 1 day completely. If you miss due to any reason, we will provide you link in the IIEC channel, right? And you can go through the video and do your attendance. And how we gonna do the attendance, it is a great way we have planned. So today guys, after end of the training, I will explain you how to do the attendance, right? And this is the great way we have planned, so that everybody would be engaged to giving their attendance, right? So that's all guys. Lots of announcement I have done. So let's directly jump into the Docker training, right? Okay, so what is Docker? Let me start for. And guys, again, this training would be 3 hour to 4 hour average, and in between we keep on doing small break, right? So normally one break will do of average 10 minutes, right? So right now what I'm doing, before I go and jump to the Docker concept, right, I just want to open the Q&A. Even though we haven't started anything technically here, but if you have any things to want to give as a feedback, right, you can give me. But I don't want the feedback of about network, because I know my network is a little bit delay. Okay, so I don't want a feedback about the network. Maybe in the next session you might don't find this delay. So one thing. And apart from this, if you have any query, any points to be discussed, or if you think you have some great use case that is not being solved easily, you want me to add, we'll discuss. But understand one thing, if you are very new in Docker, what are terms I discussed right now, like volume, or I just given, not discussed, just given, like Swarm and all the things, Jenkins, don't worry guys, I'll take this training from one step by steps. The only prerequisite for this training is you should have a basic knowledge of Linux. That is the only prerequisite that we have, right? You should have very basic knowledge of Linux. Okay, just how to use basic networking, basic commands, that's all. Otherwise there is no prerequisite for this particular training. So what I'm doing right now guys, I am enabling my chat box here just for a Q&A. Just take 5 or 10 minutes of Q&A, then we'll go for a small break of 10 minutes, then come back, and we will start the Docker from very skills, right? So just give me a minute, let me enable my Q&A, right? Then you can ask me whatever the queries you have. So 1 minute please. So guys, my Q&A has been started. It pop up in your mobile app or your desktop in a second, and due to any reason it doesn't pop up, right? So I suggest just refresh your page or go back in this link back, it will come up, right? So my Q&A has been started, and I'm just posting hi here. It will pop up in the system. Till here, even though we haven't discussed technically yet, just I'm trying to sync you with my thoughts. Just trying to show you the policies, the protocols, the way we do this training. So any Q&A, anything, how many sessions for this topic, that is the Docker? It is Vishal, it is for 15 hours around, so it takes 2 weekends, not this weekend, 2 weekends. We will uh, we will do. Okay. Yes, Atul, we will definitely start Docker, because this remaining times we will be focused only in the Docker. I just initially wanted to sync you guys with me. Okay, why to use Docker again? Kaushik, just wait for another 10 minutes. After the first small break, we will move to discuss about the Docker, right? So where we'll get the course content, I will share you guys one link of my Google Drive, where I put some softwares plus some documents also, right? So we will do it. Okay, guys, almost all the core companies are using Docker in somehow, right? I have seen Docker is being used by GE, from Deloitte, PwC, Amazon, right? So I've seen Docker is being used somehow almost by all the companies, right? And every company are using Docker for solving their some use cases. Okay. No, we are not going to cover OpenShift in this training, even though the base for the OpenShift is Docker, but now they are started using Podman as a core. But if you want, I'll just give you a high level idea, but OpenShift would be a very different platform altogether. So we are not going for those direction. Jenkins, in and out, we cover completely. We cover completely in the Jenkins in and out. Okay, guys, yes, we know we have I have some network delay, so my video might be buffering, but please bear with me. I don't want you miss the content, right? So Docker versus Spark is it again where do two different technology. Spark normally we use in data analytics for the real time streaming analysis, like Hadoop. Normally we do the Spark and Flink. We have other tools, so there's no link. But yeah, we can use Docker uh, to launch the Spark cluster and get the real time analytics. Okay, so even though if you want, I'll show you some use cases to use the Docker for Hadoop setup, cluster for Spark setup, and other things. So we can do how we can get the project. Maybe guys, if you want, in finally in the last, I'll also help you create one great project in Docker with integrating multiple things, right? So this is the one thing. So maybe if everybody want, I'll just also take one lecture to create a project from the Docker. Even though my plan is to to motivate you guys towards to create your own new product like Docker. That will be my final end goal. But using this just from the Docker, we will create about our projects also. So we'll take those topic also. I'm taking this feedback from you. Okay, yeah, one more thing. Yes, we are going to install Docker in Red Hat 8. Even though a lot of official announcements say some of the feature, some of the product code Docker doesn't support in Red Hat 8, but I have one trick I'll show you today how to install Docker in Red Hat 8 also. Okay, so I will discuss those part today. So today, guys, we are going to install Docker inside Red Hat 8. Okay, so we will do it. Yes, guys, there is no prerequisite for this training. I already explained you, because everything we start we do from basics, right? Even though you guys might be already aware about the Docker, okay, but I suggest don't miss my basic class also, because I believe there is no advanced things. If you have the core right understanding of the thing, again I'm repeating, it's not about you guys know Docker run command, Docker ps command, Docker create command, right, or Docker file maybe. It's this is the command you guys know, but how it's working behind the scene, that makes more sense, and what is the right way to use it, it also makes more sense, right? So don't think initially we are going to do some basic classes to miss it. Don't miss it, because it create a core, give you a core value of concept, right? And that will help you in some advanced things. That's my main thing. We don't require to guys sign up for any VM for this. We are going to set up our own lab setup in our laptop. You don't have to use cloud, but if you want to use AWS cloud or Azure cloud, you can do setup there also. But I will highly recommend to set up our lab in our laptop. Okay, so we will do those setup. How to do the setup in after the break, I will gonna explain you. Okay, so don't worry. We'll also, guys, I'll show you how to install the setup, the lab, so you don't have to worry about it. You can use other platform also, like Ubuntu or maybe Windows. So in this training I will also explain you how to install Docker in Windows, how to install Docker in Mac, but not today, because I want you install Docker in the top of Linux due to lots of reasons. In the upcoming class, we're gonna discuss with you. We'll see how to install Docker in Mac and Windows also directly. What is Podman, guys? Maybe after Docker, if you want, we'll take some small lecture in the Podman. So we will also discuss what the Podman would be. Okay. Deployment Kubernetes. That Kubernetes is just a clustering tool or the orchestration tool for the container. Normally they use Docker. So Kubernetes is a different tool altogether. Internally they use Docker, but without having the Docker knowledge, you won't able to properly work in the Kubernetes. So I'm not taking the Kubernetes class yet, but after the Docker completion, let's see, we might also announce Kubernetes, but I don't have right now the plan for Kubernetes, right? So my intention was to give you the detail of Docker, but maybe we will also come with Kubernetes, but the Kubernetes is only for those guys who will do this training completely and who will get the certificate from our end. Certificate means the training certificate, right? So I open the link only for those guys, because the lots of core concept I'm going to discuss here. For example, in Kubernetes, we going to use one private registry, for example. Here we'll discuss about how the private registry work. In Kubernetes, we'll discuss a volume and the networking. So in this training, we're going to discuss everything, right? So if you don't have those knowledge, it would be harder to understand my Kubernetes classes. Okay, so I'm not saying we are going to do Kubernetes, but if we'll do, I'll try my best, right? Depend upon my availability also. Okay, if we do, the recommend would be Kubernetes. Okay, so this is one small thing. Yes, Abhiday Das, Apple and Docker Apple we will discuss, don't worry. So what is Fusion we will discuss, right? Yes, this session, guys, is been recorded, and this link we will provide you, but that is available typically for 24 hours, right? So you can view this video after 24 hours, but but I suggest to do the live with me. So if you do live, your query will be solved. If you have any Q&A, you can also discuss with me. But you can use this video for further also, right? Yes, you can use CentOS 7 also, right? CentOS 7 also. Can we use Docker for data scientists? Yes. Docker is just a platform. If you have any, even though I've seen nowadays we have AI ops or AI ops or ML ops. They use a Docker a lot, right? Internally to automatic build your pipeline for data scientist world, for creating your models and everything, right? So yes, normally we can do, right? So this one thing. Different Docker and Rocket, again guys, in the upcoming class, if you want, I will discuss about. Again, Rocket is a one kind of, you can think as a competitor, you can think of the Docker. We will discuss about it. Okay, so DevOps guys is a big world, but you can think Docker is one or tool inside the DevOps, right? So if you really want to learn DevOps, so I suggest, guys, give me 1 minute please. Let me try to switch my other network. Okay, so my network. So you might have seen one small Magnum we can use to integrate with the Docker. So I can't do in this training because that require a lot of great knowledge of Docker. OpenSec first, but if you want, we'll create one small video in the upcoming class to tell you about about integration of OpenStack with the Docker. It help in security. Answer yes, because Docker give you a OS, and because they give you OS, we require a security, right? So again, they have SecCom and other kind of security implement. Again, we also going to discuss about those things also. No, we are not going to discuss, guys, ML ops. It is a very different stream of lines. But yeah, we are discussing DevOps in this training, not purely DevOps, because DevOps is again the big world. This is the one tool, Docker, that is a part, or it is come into the of umbrella of the Docker that is normally come, right? So that's the how we gonna do the attendance. We will discuss, guys, today how we gonna do the attendance and this CI/CD pipeline. Normally we do in Jenkins normally, but I'll tell you how to use Dockers there, right, in the complete CI/CD pipeline, right? Again, the great use case or in the CI/CD pipeline. I've seen Docker we use a lot on those things, right? So I believe, guys, we have a lot of questions. I think almost all the questions I've given you the answer. um, so that's all. So let's do one small break right now. According to me, maybe some of the guys are attending this training for multiple time zone. So in India and IST, right now it is 7:10. So after 13 minutes, 7:20 of IST, we will 10:30. So 10:20 of IST, we will go for the next part. Yes, guys. Maybe if you want, I will discuss some more thing about microservice, how to use Docker in the microservices. We do how to use Docker in the data side. But let me first start Docker. Okay, so let's be you guys be comfortable with the Docker. Then then multiple use cases we keep on discussing on the classes also. I also discuss about the difference between cloud virtualization and the Docker. Okay, those differences are also tag. And it is not like this, because a lot of guys think we have to remove the virtualization and then go for Docker. It is not like this. Some use case it only be solved by Docker, use case that is only be solved by virtualization world, or maybe the cloud world, right? So it depends. So we also discuss those point also. Okay, microservices will definitely discuss, not in detail, but how to use Docker to deploying your microservices. In that perspective, we will discuss, not this patterns, everything there. We also use Windows to install Docker, and also inside Docker we also launch the Windows instance also. Thing also will do, but today we start with the Linux. Okay, so right now, guys, let me take a small break. Um, is right now is 10:09 in Indian IST. So jump, please join back in 10 minutes, approximately 10 minutes, 10:20, guys. We will join, and from there I would like to start from very zero. What is Docker and how to use it? So from here we're gonna start. So just let's go for, guys, small break. So I'm just blank my screen. There will be no audio from my side will come up at 10:20 right IST time. We will start. Okay, 10:20. All right, guys, let's continue with the Docker part. So, what is Docker? Let me start. Everybody has a different perspective of the Docker. The very common thing everybody talk about is if you want to pack something as your software, as your application, and want to ship somewhere else, that is the where we use a Docker a lot, right? But I've seen multiple use cases of the Docker that can be used in multiple different industry, from security, from cloud, from the networking, from the databases, from microservices, from CI/CD pipeline, whatever the term you guys know. I believe everywhere, wherever you require operating system, you can use Docker. So let me start from here, right? Even I don't want to waste the complete day to talk about what is Docker, where to use. But what I believe, as we proceed in this training, there will be a lot of multiple use cases we're gonna cover. So by the end of the training, you will get the actual meaning of what is Docker. Okay, you will get the actual meaning, all the use cases, where to use Docker and where not to use Docker. Okay, so I don't want to waste again 1 hour, 2 hours, just keep on talking and sharing my PPT, right? But I would like to start from here. If you want, let me think in this way, guys. If you want, let me draw also. That makes more sense, I believe. Okay, so this is my screen. Let me explain in this way. For example, if you want to run any program, okay, what you need operating system. Guys, we don't have any way to run a program without operating system. Okay, if you have a way, please let me know. Maybe if you go to embedded system, again, embedded system also have one kind of mini internal kind of operating system, right? But technically, without any operating system, you can't run any program. This is one thing. And without running any program, you can't do anything in your operating system also. Okay, what I mean by this, for example, if you see here, this is my base system. This is my base system, called Windows system, right? Whatever you do, even though you move your mouse, you want to play a video, you want to write some document, right? Without any program, you can't do a small thing in any operating system. It means if you have the hardware, RAM, CPU, hard disk, sound card, network card, okay, to use those hardware, you have to run some program, right? So in the simplistic meaning, right, in the simplest same meaning, right, without any program, user, we are the user, we can't do in any of the operating system anything, or we can't use any of my hardware. It is impossible to use any hardware without any operating system. And without having the operating system, we can't run any program, and without program, a user can't do anything. This is the thing, guys. I know this part, right? But my point over here is if you want any operating system, maybe Windows, maybe Red Hat Linux, maybe Mac, right, you have to first install this operating system. Okay, you have to install this operating system. Okay, and for installing any operating system, right, I believe you guys have installed some of the operating system in your career, right? Normally depend upon the operating system type, but normally it takes somewhere around 30 minutes to install the system. It means after 30 minutes you install your operating system, right? Then you have to start, means boot your operating system, then you have to log in to get your terminal or the console of the operating system. After this you have to start working. After this you can run your program. So my point is, guys, if you have any requirement to run any program, maybe if you want to run your database program, maybe you want to host your website program, maybe you want to run your Python code, your Java code, your Spring code, want to run any stream, you want to run any job, right? whatever the scenario would be, right? Whatever scenario would be, in any cases, right? Everything is a program, right? And for running a program, for running a program, right? We want operating system, and for getting the operating system, at least 30 minutes we have to wait, or either I say wait, I can use the word waste. It means for 30 minutes we have to sit ideal. After 30 minutes or 1 hour or 20 minutes, depends, right, what how you're doing, right, you get your operating system. Or technically, guys, you know what, normally we have to install operating system only once. Okay, but there's a lots of um, use cases where you have to install the operating system, run some program, then we have to first install the operating system, then run some program. Okay, then you have to destroy or terminate the operating system. Then again you have to install the operating system again, the scratch, run some program and destroy. There are lots of use cases that we require this. One of the use case might be in the testing world, might be in the building world. So what is testing, building world? Those guys who are new in this area, I will discuss in the future. Okay, so there's a lot of where we have to install the operating system. Or I would like to give you one more vocabulary here, guys. Either you say operating system, but what you do in the operating system, you have to install some maybe database, you have to install some kind of interpreter, some kind of program, or you want to run some program, right? So technically, either you can say the word operating system, or you can use the word called environment. So technically, operating system is like an environment. They are giving you an environment where, as a developer, as a testing guys, as a user, you have to use that environment for doing your task. Maybe running the database, running the program, running some job, putting some stuff. Depend, guys. Hundreds of things you can do in your operating system, and only in the operating system you can do all those hundreds of things. Again, that is also very important to know, right? Or either you say the word operating system, that is, I think that is equally equals to your environment. Okay, so getting any environment for doing any task or any program or any job, we require at least somewhere around approximate 30 minutes. And if you have this kind of use cases where you have to install it, run some program, run some job, then destroy, then install, then program, then destroy, I think, guys, if every day if you want to do this thing 10 times, how much time it waste for you? Okay, and today's, guys, we are in a world of DevOps. So what is DevOps, guys? I'm not going to discuss right now here, but we are in the world of DevOps, and the DevOps say, okay, more time you waste for creating your environment, okay, it will increase your release cycle of your product development. And in the today's competition world, right, if you take more time to release new product in the market, if you are the product based company, right, or the app based company, right, in this competition world, your mm, chances in the survival of your product in this world would be very less, or maybe you might be gone in this industry, right? So my point, guys, today is we have a huge competition world. Faster you come up with your idea, faster you create your idea, faster you launch in the market, it's called release, right, you will survive in this competition world, right? And for faster release, faster come up with the idea, right, you can't waste your time in this kind of activities. Okay, so we will, guys, discuss this point in detail in upcoming class. I don't want to discuss this DevOps CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so don't worry, guys, don't those guys who don't know about DevOps or CI/CD pipeline, what I'm talking about right now, just I'm just trying to give you a sense. In today's competition world, right, wherever in your company, whatever you do, that's called process. So in any of the process, if we have a delay and if we have any waste in the time, right, it give me, guys, I'm giving guarantee in today's this fast world or the agile world, right, you will, your product or your company might gone, right? You should be very quick in the forms. Okay, and again, is a big process altogether, but what I'm talking about, Okay, one of the process that will they'll hamper your speed is your creating your environment. If your environment takes 30 minutes, or if you always take 30 minutes to launch, right, it would be very harder to cope up with the way we do our things in the industry, right? So my point is, guys, here, what how Docker help you. Again, guys, I'm like to tell you one more thing. DevOps is a bigger world, and Docker is just a part of DevOps. Okay, and what I'm talking right now, it would be harder for somebody, especially those who are fresher, what I'm talking right now, because it is a whole depend on DevOps. So maybe in the upcoming class, if you want, I'll take a separate lecture for the DevOps. You can understood more, but I believe at least you get the idea. If you want to run a program, we require the operating system, and for running the for getting the operating system or the environment is one of the same thing, right? We have to waste 30 minutes or 1 hour, depend upon your which kind of operating system you're installing. But using the Docker, what can we do, right? You can install approximate any operating system. Again, I'm repeating, and this is the, I believe this is a great feature of the Docker. Using the Docker, right, you can install any operating system or approximate any operating system just in 1 second. That is one of the great beauty of the Docker. Okay, think if you install any operating system just in 1 second, just in 1 second, right? It means you get your environment just in 1 second. It's not only just installing it, just in 1 second, your operating system will install. Okay, then operating system boot also, and you get the login also. Whole this process will happen just in 1 second. I rarely see in 2 seconds. Okay, just in 1 second you'll get those things. It means your environment is ready. Now you are ready to go to run any program. Maybe you want to run the database, you want to run your microservices or deploy microservices, you want to run your app server, web server, engineering server, whatever the field you guys are working on, right? You can do very quickly. Okay, but for this you require the OS, and getting the OS, we can take the help of the Docker that will install your OS just in 1 second. Okay, it means whatever I'm talking about, okay, it means if you want to install 10 times your operating system, right? Or you think, guys, one thing, if I ask you to install operating system, then I ask you to destroy, again install, then destroy. We normally think 10 times before you install any operating system, or before you deploy any operating system, right? Okay, but in the Docker world, right, if I say just install it, just one click, OS install, run your program in the OS, then destroy it, again install, destroy it. Okay, so how why we have to destroy? Again, there's a great lot of use cases. I don't want to discuss today these points, right? But right now, my main point that I would like to discuss over here is, okay, that from there I would like to start my training. Okay, we can use Docker to launch our operating system in 1 second, and how it helps us in industry. I have tons of use cases. I would don't want to discuss right now, because for this I have to first give you a lot of basics how the industry work, especially those guys who are not from this industry, or those guys who are not working in this industry, they are the fresher. So in the next lecture, right, I will explain you those basics, right? Then you understand very easily why we need our operating system to be launched in 1 second, or why we want our environment to get in 1 second. That we'll discuss today. I would like to make our topic very light, so everybody at least get the Docker environment ready. So my plan for today is to show you some demo in the Docker. Okay, to at least show you like in 1 second OS launch. Plus my plan is to help you to build your lab in your laptop. So by the next training session, that's from next Saturday, everybody has the lab setup, so you can do our practicals with me. So that's the where we're gonna start the main core practical of the DevOps. So my plan for today is very simple. just to show you the one small demo of Daga. Once again, your OS launch. That's my one plan, first plan, and then I'm going to help you to build your own personal lab in your laptop. Okay, that's my next plan. So for showing this demo, guys, right, I already have Docker setup with me. So I'm taking this class in two way, right? First, I'm showing you a demo that I already created for you. Okay, then after this demo, I will go step by step to create the Docker setup. So don't worry, guys. Whatever the demo I'm going to show you, I also help you and trained you to create your own lab. Okay, so you can do the same demo in your laptop for testing. And from the next weekend, that from next Saturday, we will start our Docker training for full-fledged by explaining you multiple use cases, and we keep on solving these use cases. But right now, what I'm going to show you, all right, I'm going to install the operating system in 1 second, then going to run the operating system and then destroy it, then install it, then some other program, then destroy it. So again, maybe you guys not understand why I want to destroy and again install. Don't worry, these are the lot of use cases in this industry that we require a lot. Okay, and if you go for normal installation, it might take 30 minutes. By the Docker, within a second I can install, within a second I can destroy also. Okay, so let me show you the first demo how to install the operating system in the Docker or using the Docker engine just in 1 second. So I have this my base system Red Hat. Don't worry, guys, I'll explain you how to build this setup. Just I'm showing you Docker setup here, means how to launch the operating system in 1 second. So for this, the first command that I would like to show you guys right now, don't worry, I'm just giving you a demo, right? You can't do this demo at right now in your laptop because Docker is not installed. Okay, but I'll show you how to install Docker in another 5 or 10 minutes, right? So there's a command called docker ps. It show you how many OS is running in your system. Okay, right now I don't have any OS running in my system, but if you want to install any system, right, then in the Docker we have a command called docker run. It means I'm asking to launch, install, launch and run a new operating system. Now, which operating system you want to install? You want to install Windows, you want to install Red Hat Linux, you want to install Ubuntu. For example, I'm going to install one Ubuntu Linux. Okay, and again in Ubuntu we have multiple versions. Which version of Ubuntu you want to install? You have to use colon. For example, I would like to install the Ubuntu 14.04. This is one of the version I would like to store. Okay, and guys, after install, what do you want? After install, I want this OS to be startup or boot, or after the OS boot, I would like to get the command line of this Ubuntu. This called terminal. So for this, I have to pass option called T. It will give you a terminal of this Ubuntu. Okay, and I would also want to interact with this terminal. So any program, they will interact with us. So I can use the option called I. So guys, that's all. So simple command. Don't worry, we will discuss in very detail about this command, how it work, everything we're gonna discuss over here in some time, right? But right now, guys, what trying to tell you here, if you guys ever install Ubuntu operating system in your laptop, if you ever install, it takes somewhere around 30 minutes or 1 hour normally to install complete Ubuntu operating system, depend upon which version you're installing. Okay, like here using the Docker by this particular command, just in 1 second your Ubuntu OS installed, plus it boot, plus it will give you a login terminal of the Ubuntu just in 1 second. But before I run, let me open one more new tab here. Okay, so right now my base system called Red Hat, none of the OS is running. Okay, as soon as I boot, guys, this is a very fantastic command. I always appreciate this command. So as soon as I enter, see what happened, guys. That's all, just in 1 second. Okay, believe me, guys, this is the new operating system they first installed. They internally somehow boot, and they get you login inside the Ubuntu. Even though if you from the see the command line, this was the base or Reddit command line, this is the different OS command line. Okay, and if you go to my next terminal, if you see one more one new OS is been launched 26 seconds ago from the Ubuntu. And if you really want to prove that this is the Ubuntu, so guys, if you know some command in Red Hat called yum, this command is a Red Hat command, right? It never work in Ubuntu. It is command for package installation. And in the Ubuntu, if you want to install any package, you can use a command called apt-get. So what I'm trying to prove you, this is the real Ubuntu operating system. It is not like this, just a screen come up, right? So whatever you do and in Ubuntu, okay, you can do from here. See here, this command is working. Okay, it's a pure operating system. This command has their own RAM. This command has their own CPU. Okay, this command has their own file system, own storage, own network card, own IP address, everything they have. Whatever you have in your normal operating system, this OS has those things. So either you say the OS, either you say the environment. Normally in the Docker we use the term called container. We'll discuss again sometime, right? Everything they have over here. But the greatest thing is, guys, here, one second your OS installed, or just in 1 second I can terminate this OS. So for example, for terminate the OS, I can use the command called docker remove, and every OS they give one unique name. This is the name they give, copy remove. It will fail because I already my OS is running. So if you want to remove it, you have to use forcefully remove, and that's all. Your OS terminated. You can see you come out. Okay, and again you can from a docker ps command, you can check OS terminated. So you know what, if you have any use case where or any requirement where you want to launch the OS, want to do something, then terminate, then again launch new OS, do something, then terminate. And this is a very uh, uh, great use cases solve in your DevOps world, solve in your Jenkins CI/CD pipelines. I'll show you. I gonna show you multiple those things a lot. Even though other areas also we can do those things. Okay, it is not about only the launching the OS, and it is not only about. For example, if I'm giving an idea, if I'm going to one point, if you ever install Oracle database and just configure Oracle database, it might take some time, and again for launching it takes some time. But using Docker, I can launch my Oracle instance, MySQL database instance, any NoSQL instance in 1 second. 1 second, your OS launch. In the 1 second, your complete database instance launch. It's something like this, right? So my big thing, guys, over here is, right, why Docker is very fast. Why it's fast, right? And what I've seen, none of the blogs or none of the articles has a proper explanation about this thing. None of the video tutorials also has, even the official document also have given the answer of this point. Okay, so in the upcoming class, my next plan over in the next Saturday, I is going to give you basics of the Dockers. Okay, maybe in Sunday, right, or maybe in the upcoming class, I will explain you why the Docker is super fast, what is the code behind it. I have lots of research in this area, right? And I'm not saying I have the best answer, but technically in all the corporate whatever I explain you, I give the demo, they always say, okay, yeah, this I feel these are the best answer what I am providing to you. Because I'm going to show you this particular example answer with the real practicals, right? Real practical I'm going to show you. Okay, so in the upcoming class I'm going to show you why the Docker is super faster. Okay, before this we have to learn multiple things, and at the time when I explain you why the Docker are super fast, that time would be the time where I will tune you guys to my thought of creator, right? Because when I just explaining you why the Docker are faster, I have to go in deep dive into the Docker world, and I gonna explain you how the team of the Docker or Solomon Hikes has tricked the things that it already exist to create something new. Okay, so I believe the explanation that I'm going to give you and the way I'm going to take you inside, you won't find anywhere this kind of details, none of the blocks, none of the official document. That I'm just giving you guarantee, right? So that I researched by myself, I will share you definitely for sure. Okay, but right now what I explain you, right, just in 1 second, your OS launch. If you want to launch again, let me show you. Same command you can run. Right now I don't have any OS running. This is the command you can use. I don't have any OS running, right? But as soon as you click, your OS launch. Now over here, because it's new OS, okay, and you want to run anything, very simple thing, you can run the date command, for example, very simple program. But any advanced program, you can run your databases, and you can launch your web server, mail server, app servers. You want to run some microservices, you want to run Spark, Hadoop clusters, lots of things you can do over here, right? And do it. After the thing is done, you can just terminate this OS if you want. Okay, but from here you can check this OS is running. So right now guys, in your laptop, if you try to run this command, it won't work because Docker is not yet been set up in your laptop. So I'm gonna share you how to set up the Docker. Even though right now I'm using Red Hat 8, a lot of guys say in Red Hat 8 some of the versions of Docker is not properly supported, but I have some trick. I'll show you how to support those versions also, right? So this is a very small demo guys. I've shown you. One more thing guys, if you have ever worked in Vagrant, right, it might seem look something like this, but it has a huge difference, right? So I have a lot of points to discuss if you want to discuss with me, right? How it is different from Vagrant, how it is different for virtual environment in Python, right? It is very different from those things. I say Docker has a lots of different use cases that you can't do with Vagrant or virtual environment. So if you have worked in this kind of products or anywhere anytime, right, you I will have some discussion also on those points, how Docker is better than these tools. Right? So this very small example I've show you. So right now this is one small demo. So that I show you, that's the demo that I show you. It is about how to launch Docker in just 1 second. This one I'll show you. But if you also want to do the same practical in your laptop, okay, we have to first set up the laptop or this lab in your laptop, right? So today guys, I just want to invest the time in setting up the lab in your laptop. So there the guys, I would like to invest my time today. So by the next session that we go do in the next weekend, everybody has the laptop set up with Docker, and from there I would like to start the Docker again from the very basics about from this command, and that time I will explain this topic more in depth about this command more in depth. And this is one of the basic command guys. Don't think we are just going to do only these things. Everything whatever possible in the Docker, if you go for Docker, all right, help, there's lots of commands, lots of things, lot of things we can do. Almost everything we're gonna discuss in this command, from container to engines to plugins to secret services, stacks, swarms, volumes, everything we're gonna discuss, right? Don't worry guys, I just started with a very basic thing. Okay, so I believe guys you got the high level idea just by one single command, how Docker are very quick. Okay, so now I would like to invest my time to show you how to create your own lab. Okay, so let me start from here, how to create your own labs in the in the Docker. Okay, so technically for this the how I created my lab, right, let me explain this way. So same way you can use. So right now I'm using my laptop, and inside my laptop I have my base operating system. That is let me create in this way, let me clear. So technically right now the setup that I have is this one. So my base operating system that is installed in my top of my laptop is Windows, but you might have Mac also. So what I did, in the top of Windows or the Mac, I have installed one operating system that's called Red Hat version 8, Rel 8. So that's what I have installed in my laptop. Okay, and the way I install, I use one virtual product, right? You can use any of the virtual product that you whatever you feel like, but I use Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox I have used. So I install Oracle VirtualBox on the top of Windows, and on the top of Oracle VirtualBox I installed Red Hat 8. You can use any other OS also, like Ubuntu or SUSE or Red Hat 7 also, CentOS also, but I recommend to everybody to use Red Hat 8, because there will be some interesting practical I would like to show you. For example, a lot of guys say in the Docker, whenever you launch the operating system, right, it will launch in a CLI mode. Okay, but in the future I'm going to show you, I'm going to launch operating system, it will give you GUI. Okay, this is one example, right? So even though it will be harder to do, but I'll show you step by step how we can achieve those things. So if you do the practical with me the same way that I build my environment, you will be very much sync with me. So I highly suggest don't use any other operating system. We are going to use Red Hat 8 to do our practical. And in the top of Red Hat 8 I have installed Docker. This is the way I use. So on the top of Red Hat 8 I have installed the Docker. Okay, so guys, I'm not taking a class how to install Red Hat 8. This part I'm not taking right now. Okay, I believe everybody know how to install Red Hat 8, but those guys who don't know how to install Oracle VirtualBox, those guys who don't know how to install Red Hat 8, so I have one video in my YouTube this channel. We will share you guys link in the IIEC channel of you guys. So from there you can see, check how to install Red Hat 8 in your laptop on the top of Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so technically this is my base Windows, and here we have Oracle VirtualBox, and here I have installed Red Hat 8. So those guys who don't know, don't worry, will uh, share the video where you can go through the video and check how to install it. This is one thing. But for installing the Red Hat 8, you require a Red Hat 8 ISO or the Red Hat 8 DVD. Okay, so guys, everybody who have registered with us, we already mailed you, I think day ago, with the link of the Red Hat 8. That is 6 GB somewhere in size, 6.7, 6 GB in somewhere in size. So you have to download this from the link, or if you already have, you can install those things, right? So we already shared the link where we have this ISO DVD. Get from the link, and those guys who are facing the issue, in the same mail we have shared you some contact number of our volunteers. You can please ping them in the WhatsApp, and they will help you maybe from other link. Even though we have shared multiple links, and if from any of the link you can download this ISO file. Okay, so technically, you whatever the OS you have in the base, you can use it. Install Oracle VirtualBox, or maybe VMware also you can use. Any of the virtual tool you can use. And why we are doing this? Because almost all the practical we obviously we'll do for the Docker, but all the practical we do on the Red Hat. So Red Hat would be my base OS for the Docker. But in the upcoming class, I will say also train you how to install Docker on the top of Windows, also on the top of Mac also. Just for knowledge base, I will show you this practical. But typically in the industry, wherever I seen the Docker to be used, they always use Linux. Okay, it will be any Linux, but normally maximum time I seen Red Hat Linux they used. Okay, so it means almost 99% practical of the Docker we will do on the top of Red Hat. That's what I want you also install with me. So installation part I am not taking right now. Okay, this is the one small thing. Now second thing, if you have the Red Hat 8 installed, what you can do, right, you have to install Docker over here. Okay, so for example, this is your Red Hat 8, Rel 8, right, and on the top of Red Hat 8 you have to install Docker. Now great thing I say over here is in Red Hat 8, right, DVD they doesn't provide you a software for the Docker. even though they have their own product, something like a competitor of Docker as a Podman. We will discuss if you want in the future what is Podman, what is the difference between Docker and Podman. We'll discuss in the future. But but Reddit DVD doesn't give you a product for the Docker. Okay, so how to get this Docker software, we will discuss right now, and how to install Docker on the top of Red Hat. But before this, you should know one thing, right? Before I explain you how to set up Docker, first thing that you should know, that Docker is a product. Docker is a software. This is one thing. Okay, and in the Red Hat, the software is always has the extension called RPM. So Docker is a software, and because we are going to install Docker on the top of Red Hat, so we have to get Docker RPM. This is one thing. Okay, second thing, from the Docker company or from the Docker community, it was called Docker Inc. Incorporated is the name of the company, right? They will provide you two different versions or flavors of the Docker. One is called Docker CE, one is called Docker EE. Okay, CE is called Community Edition and EE is called Enterprise Edition. Okay, difference is, okay, the Community Edition is free, don't charge you. Enterprise Edition is they have the license, they will charge you. Okay, and the technical wise difference is they have some more feature. So in the upcoming class, I will explain you again difference between CE and EE more. What feature we have in EE, what feature we don't have in CE. Okay, but they have some feature that might don't in normal learning on the Docker, right? But Enterprise Edition, they have extra feature, but they also charge you. It's not free. They will charge you some fee as a license, but this is free for you. And almost all the major thing, whatever we normally want to do in Docker, we can do in Community Edition mainly. Okay, but the biggest challenge is if you talk about Red Hat 8 especially, right? Red Hat 8 doesn't support Community Edition. Okay, if you want to install Docker in Red Hat 8 OS, right, you have to go for Enterprise Edition, and if you go for Enterprise Edition, you will charge it. Okay, so guys, from here I would like to start the training, right, the setup part. So I have one trick, very small trick that I would like to use here, right? What trick is, I'm going to show you that in Red Hat version 8 also we can install Community Edition. It will work fine, there will no issue come up. Okay, how we can do, let me show you. But before I show you, let me again first show you that in Red Hat 8 Community Edition doesn't support. What kind of error you get and how to solve this error to the Community Edition in the Red Hat 8. Okay, so I believe guys you guys got the idea. So in my base system, I'm not touching my Windows. In the top of Windows, I have Oracle VirtualBox, and in the top of Oracle VirtualBox, I already had in my system. Okay, this part you guys know. If you don't know, I will share the video. And inside the Red Hat 8, I log in with the root account. Guys, don't log in with other account, because for installing any software you require a root power or maybe some other user sudo power. So I'm logging with my root account. Okay, till here we have done this, right? Now for installing the Docker, okay, and if you search in the internet, the command that we use to install the Docker, okay, is this command. So this is the command that we use to install the Docker in any OS. So this is not, I'm saying, if you go to Docker documentation, this is the command you always find. And guys, one more thing I'm going to do here, okay, that I'm going to share you multiple softwares and multiple documents. I'm also going to share you. So what I'm doing, I'm creating one Google Drive for you guys. So all the commands that I'm doing, I'm creating here, all the software that I'm going to share you in the future, all the document that I'm going to share you in the future, I will put everything in my Google Docs, and the link of docs I will share with you guys. So this is the IIEC Rise. IIEC as our community name. Rise 1.0 is our one campaign inside the IIEC. Okay, and this for Docker. So I will share this folder link with you guys, and what we will do, I'll create one doc here, doc here. Okay, and all the diagrams that I'm creating here, okay, and everything, the commands that I'm creating here, I'll share everything in the doc, so you don't miss anything. So I will give this link of this doc in your channel. So in the IIEC Rise channel, Telegram, where you have connected or you will connect, right, will put everything there. Okay, so I'm sharing this command to you. Okay, and guys, don't worry about the docker run commands, because that command docker ps docker run, in the next lecture I would like to start the thing from very zero. I just show you demo to just give you brief in 1 second how quicker they launch your operating system. But this is the first command I'm discussing with you, even though all the diagram that I created here, okay, I'm just sharing you with your reference. Okay, so maybe there's some of diagram might help you in some form. Okay, even though again in the next class I will explain you the detail about about the architecture of the docker in detail, right? But I don't want to discuss today, because what my intention was today just to sync you guys with me. Second, those guys who don't have the environment till now ready, those guys who don't have a Red Hat ISO right now, right, they will get everything ready, right? So I'll share guys after the minute those things. But yeah, from here I would like to start. So this is the command that we use to install operating the Docker software. But if I run this command, but I run this command in my system, what it will do, it will go to the internet, okay, download the Docker software and install for you. Because I told you guys Docker is software, right? But because my internet is very slow, it taking some time. Okay, very slow. Okay, let me check. Yeah, actually in my system Docker is already been installed, but you know what guys, in my system, because my Docker is already installed, just give me a minute, let me remove the Docker. 1 minute please. Don't worry guys what I'm doing right now, because for demo I already install the Docker in my system. Let me remove, just give me a minute please. Okay, so when you install the Docker in your Red Hat system, okay, with this command, what I'm doing right now is failed. Maybe they might throw, or they don't throw the error. Let me check. Just wait for a second. My net is a little bit slow here. This is very slow actually. One minute. Because I changed my network multiple times, so let me restart my networking. Come on, it's very slow. Yeah, so guys, you get this error. Okay, and this error say you are using Red Hat, especially in Red Hat 8. They show you this error, and they say we only support Docker EE, that you have to purchase from this site. Obviously you have to buy some license. Okay, but almost all the core feature of the Docker that we require in this training, it is available in Docker CE. Okay, community edition, but they won't allowing you, because they say in Red Hat 8 that doesn't support. Even though you go to CentOS or Ubuntu, they will work for you, but it won't work in Red Hat. But due to lots of reason, I'm using Red Hat, because normally in industry as a server we use a Red Hat a lot. So you should know how to install Docker in the top of Red Hat. But I'm not showing the trick that I'm going to give you. You have to use in your industry. In the industry, you can buy the Docker EE license and you can do it. But for your laptop, for your setup, you can use this trick. And the trick is very straightforward and very simple, right? This is, guys, the command that I'm using here. It is just a script, shell script. Internally in this script, what they're doing, they're checking your operating system name. Okay, and they're checking which OS you're using, and they say, okay, you are Red Hat, I won't allow you. Either you go to this script, change it, or the command, after checking your Red Hat or CentOS or Ubuntu, they go to internet somewhere, and from the internet, right, they will download the software. Okay, so what I'll do, okay, we know the location. Let me share the location with you from where they download the software. Okay, so if you search here in the Google, Docker RPM download something, if you search this keyword in the Google, right, you get one link. Okay, and that is a link where Docker community, guys, has put the software of Docker CE, means Docker Community Edition. Okay. Go to this link. Okay, then let me, okay, I think this is the one link. So you research this thing in your Google. Okay, normally the first link you get, download.docker.com. This is the link. Okay, and all the Docker software, even the latest software of Docker, Docker 19. So in this 10, guys, we are going to use version of Docker that's called Docker 19. This again stable one. So it's released I think this month or last month only, 13th Feb, right? This month, I believe, last month. So we're going to use the latest one. So what can we do? We can go to this link and download this software, and after download we install it. But guys, you know something about Reddit, lots of software depend on other software. So instead I download every software by manually. I can ask my yum command. Yum will help us, right? And for this, what you have to do, just go up. Okay, this is the link where we have all the software. So just copy this link, and guys, those guys who know yum in Red Hat, they know how to configure the yum and how to install the software from the yum. But especially those guys who don't know yum, because in this training we're going to use yum a lot. Okay, so those guys who are new in Red Hat and don't know about the yum, so yesterday only, guys, in the community I have take the lecture of yum from very basic to a little bit advanced. So I again share one link to you guys. I suggest before the next weekend you please go through that yum topic first, then do what I'm doing right now. So right now I'm taking a class in such a way that you guys already, but if you don't know yum, I'm not wasting the time right now in this training. Please go through my yesterday video. I'll share the link to you, and please first learn, then come to this topic, right? But right now you can watch what I'm doing, right? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a yum. A yum is a command in Linux, right? That help you to install the software. So yum first download the software for you. Yum will first download all the dependencies, then install the software for you. And for this, I'm just going to create one new file. You can give any name like docker.repo. You can give any name, but extension should be .repo only. So you have to first create a file in this folder only. And what you have to type, you have to copy this URL. And guys, this is the URL, okay, where my Docker software located. Okay, and because this is URL, we have to give the keyword called base URL. Every URL we have to give some unique name. You can give any name here. It's called repo ID. And in the last, I'm putting GPG check equal 0. It is disabling the signature checking of the software. It's called digital signature checking. So that's what, guys, yum has been configured. So it's a very basic thing. But those guys who don't know how to configure yum, please go through my video. Okay, so technically, you know what I am doing? Very small trick I did, right? What I did, technically, this link content Docker CE software. Okay, and so what I am telling my yum, that is a part of my Red Hat, and I'm saying please go to this link. Okay, and whatever software available for this particular version, doesn't matter which version they have, please, whatever the software that is supported in my Reddit 8, download it for us without using the script that I show you. So the script that I show you has a checking, has a validation. Are you Reddit 8? If yes, I won't allow you. but what is there inside the script, this link I manually created. Because when you start using this script, technically this script also create a yum for you only, this file only for you, but this script won't create this file because they first check your OS. So I skip this part and directly I create this file for you. Okay, this file, one file I already created initially, so let me remove this file. So this file I'm talking about. Okay, now if I try to install the Docker without using a script, because guys this script internally call yum command, so what I'm doing, I'm calling yum command manually and I'm asking yum command to install this software. So that's all guys. Finally in your Red Hat 8 you have your Docker software to install. This is a little bit heavy software, just in some 80-90 MB in size, so depend upon your internet speed. This will install for you. My internet is very worst today, so it might take some time, but this is the command you can use. So finally, so these are step by step I've shown you. So yeah, one more thing, due to some reason this command will fail, because this command required this software as a dependency, and in the location where I am downloading, they have multiple versions of this software. Okay, and none of the version is almost compatible with this guy. Okay, but what I do, okay, I can use one option here called -number no best. You can pass this option. What it will do, right, in all these versions of Container.io, this one software, what is Container.io, we'll discuss in the future also, right? Whatever the compatible version and the most compatible version or nearby version, right, they will download and install for you. So I suggest, if you want to install the Docker, see in Red Hat version 8, you have to use this command. So now that will go to internet and download the software for you guys. Now you can see there's no error come up. They are downloading one of the stable version of Docker 18. Even though you can go for CentOS 19 also by manually typing this version here in the command line, but this is the one of the stable version they are downloading according to the dependencies. So almost version will say work same. There's no the code level difference come up, and technically total 80 MBs data they are downloading, and after download they will install for you. Okay, so what I have trying to show you guys here is, okay, again guys, you can use other operating system also like Fedora, CentOS, Ubuntu, right, Windows also, but I'm highly emphasizing on Red Hat, because the way I'm going to take this training at that huge or detail level, right, and lots of practical I'm going to show you that we normally do in the real Linux server, enterprise servers, right? Normally enterprise use Red Hat a lot. Okay, so please do the same process with me. Don't use any other OS. Install Red Hat first in your laptop, either in the top of VirtualBox or VMware, or directly in the laptop, that your choice, or in the cloud also. So if you want to use AWS cloud or GCP cloud, Azure cloud, so whatever cloud you want to use, you can use, but in the cloud install Red Hat 8, and after installing Red Hat 8, do this thing. Okay, install the Docker CE software. They won't allow you, so what you have to do, first configure your own personal yum, and then use yum install with no best option to install the Docker. So technically guys, Docker is just a software, yum is a command in Red Hat to install the software, and you will get it. Okay guys, because of my internet speed, they are giving the download error something, but they've installed it. And after you install Docker, okay, because Docker is a software, start the Docker program. And if you want to start Docker program, and this program is also known as Docker services, so you have to start the Docker services to start the Docker thing. Okay, and how to start Docker service, I can share you in a minute the downloading in my system. Okay, so after Docker install, you have to start Docker services. Let me share the command right now. After the Docker software installed, you have to run this command. Okay, so to start the Docker services, you have to run a command called systemctl start Docker. That's all. Command is only Docker, not C. So this is the Docker service you have to start. it won't start right now. First get your software downloaded, then you can run this command. It will start Docker services. That's all, guys. After this, whatever I have show you Docker run, it will be workable. Okay, so before this, guys, before I run this command, let wait for some second, let this software to be downloaded, then I'll show you how to start this service. And by the meantime, guys, they are downloading, I would like to tell you one more small thing that makes more sense, all right, to take it forward in the Docker. So technically, we've seen, guys, if you want to install any operating system, right, in the technological world, we have 4 different way that is available. Only 4 different way. The one way is, right, you can install your operating system directly in the top of your hardware, maybe in the laptop, maybe in server, maybe in PC. So if you install any operating system in the top of your hardware directly, it is known as bare metal installation. Okay, like in my laptop I install Windows. The second way available would be, okay, you have your hardware, means your laptop, for example. On the top of laptop, if you install any program, and in the top of program, if you install multiple operating system, okay, then this kind of setup is known as virtualization. So like in my laptop, I install Windows, and in the top of Windows I install a program called Oracle VirtualBox, and in the top of Oracle VirtualBox I install multiple OS. So this kind of program is known as virtual. So this is second way. The first way, bare metal. Second way, virtualization. Third way, that is little bit look like until they use virtualization only, but they are known as cloud. So you have one cloud, okay, and on the top of the cloud you can go and launch. Cloud would be your public cloud like AWS, Azure, or maybe private cloud like OpenStack, something. Whatever cloud you guys know, right? So there's a third way to install the operating system, and the fourth way to install the operating system, something like this. You have your own OS. In the top of the OS, you can install one program, and in the top of the program, you can install multiple OS. Okay, so here, guys, it again look like this kind of setup only, right? But here, this program is your Docker. Is Docker. Okay, and the base OS that I am using, you can use anything like Windows, Mac, but the base OS that I am using is Red Hat 8. Or in the Red Hat 8, I installed Docker that I am installing right now here. It installing, they're downloading, then after download they install for you. Okay, and after the install, I'll launch my operating system. Okay, so technically this technology, it is not known as Docker. This technology is known as container or containerization. So this technology is known as containerization. For example, the technology that I am using in my laptop for installing the OS are virtualization, and in the virtualization world we have multiple software come in the market, right? So if you want to implement virtualization, we have one software called Oracle VirtualBox, we have one software called VMware Workstation Fusion, right? And other software also coming with the market, right? For example, in the cloud we have multiple software like AWS, like OpenStack. Similarly, right, cloud computing is a like a one technology, we have multiple products. Virtualization is one technology, we have multiple product. Similarly, container is a one technology having multiple product. One of the product of container technology is Rocket. Other one is Docker. And you can think like a Podman. Again, we have lots of other products also. Okay, so Docker is just a product, is a software that work of containerization. And what is a containerization? That is a very important topic. I will actually do in very deep dive from very basics in the next class. Okay, and after understanding the containerization, you will understand the how the Docker internally work. Docker is just a product that is work with a technology called containerization. So technically, guys, if you want to install any operating system, for example, if you install on the top of virtualization. It might take 30 minutes, for example. Finally, what do you get? You get the operating system. Maybe this operating system would be Ubuntu, or maybe CentOS, or maybe Kali. Similarly, on the top of Docker also, or containerization also, we can install the OS. But the only difference is this OS we can get in 1 second. Okay, it means whatever you're getting on the top of virtualization here, you get your finally OS, right? And what you do in the OS, you have to run the program. Similar OS, approximate similar OS, I can get in the top of Docker. The only difference is they launch just in 1 second. Now guys, question is why they launch in 1 second, how they are so powerful, do you have some limitation? All the things is a very important topic we will discuss in the upcoming class, don't worry. But what I'm trying to show you, in the entire world, in technological world, we have only 4 ways to get your operating system. We have 4 ways to set up the environment for our program. So OS is just like an environment where we run our program. Program would be date command, program would be database, program would be your maybe Python or Java, or maybe your Microsoft Office. It would be any program. Okay, and we have only 4 ways. I don't see any 5th way. If you please let me know. But this is the main 4 way we have. Okay, but should I use virtualization? Should I use Docker? Containerization? All right. Again, this is a big discussion topic. A lot of guys I've seen, they say don't use virtualization, go for container. But I don't say this. I am saying, right, both are some use cases. Somewhere we have to use only virtualization. Those things I can't solve from Docker, and somewhere you have to use Docker, don't use virtualization. So those use cases I will keep on discussing. Again, not today, right? Because we haven't discussed anything about the Intel technology like containers. So after I discuss and after I work something more on the Docker, I will keep on taking this topic in between. But I don't want to waste your time right now, because it won't help you to understand those things, right? So guys, technically it downloaded and installed for me successfully. There is no error come up. If you want to confirm it's installed or not, you can use this command to confirm. So rpm is the command, q is query. So this show you one of the version they have installed in my system. And after Docker install, you can use Docker version command also to check the version. So they show you this is the Docker community edition they are running with some month of internal version they show. Okay, but if you want to see how many OS are running, you can use Docker PS, but it show you error, won't able to connect. Why? Because I installed the Docker, but I haven't started the Docker services. So Docker is a product. If you want to use the Docker, you have to start the Docker services. Starting the Docker services, you have to use this command. This command will start a Docker services for you. After start Docker services, you can run almost all the command Docker. It won't give you error. Okay, so you can use this command to start the Docker services. Okay, and right now what it shows you, I don't have any OS running. Okay, so if you want to run the OS, right, or install the OS, you should know one more thing. Okay, the guy I explained you right now, we have 4 different way available, right? So if you want to use, if you want to install operating system in any of the world, right? So if you want to install your operating system on the top of your hardware, you require your DVD. If you want to install your operating system on the top of virtualization, you require some ISO file or some other image. Okay, if you want to install any operating system on the top of the cloud, again we require some kind of cloud image, or it's called OS image. Similarly, if you want to install any operating system on the top of containerization, and the product that we are using in the top of containers is called Docker. So if you want to install any operating system on the top of Docker or top of containerization technology, again what you require, image of your operating system. Now understand one thing, Docker is just a product that will help you to install the operating in 1 second. Plus they will do some more thing we will discuss in the future. Okay, but for installing the operating system, we require the image of your operating system. For example, if you want to install Ubuntu, you require image. If you want to install Red Hat or Windows, you require a Red Hat OS bootable or Red Hat OS or Windows OS image. And the image that we use in the Docker are known as Docker image. So either you say OS image or you say Docker image is one of the same thing. So we require Docker image. Okay, so if you want to see how many Docker image you have right now, so you can use the command called Docker images. This command will tell you how many images you have. In your case, guys, if you run this command, you won't see any image. But in my case, I have to because I already downloaded. Okay, so in your case, you won't see any image. Okay, but in my case, I have to because I already downloaded. How I downloaded, let me tell you. Okay, so but yeah, before this, again, let me explain you. If you want to do anything, for example, this is my current setup. I have my one OS running. That's called Red Hat 8. On the top of the Red Hat 8, I have one Docker running. Okay, and on the top of Docker, I would like to launch some operating system. Okay, for launching the operating system, we want which operating system you want to launch. So you have to use the image of that operating system. That's called OS image, or you can say Docker image. And how to get this image? How to get this image? So Docker has their own repository of Docker images. Means they have some website where you can go and they put almost all the operating system image there, and that is called repository. So they have the repository of operating system images or the Docker images. Okay, so they have one URL. So if you go to internet and search for go for hub.docker.com. So this is the URL where they have lots of images available. Okay, for this you don't have to create an account. If you want to create an account, you can sign up. It's free. But for example, I'm looking for Ubuntu. Just go here. I'm searching this URL again with you. Go here and search for Ubuntu. Ubuntu is one kind of Linux operating system, and here they show you they have one Ubuntu image, and this is the official image shared by Ubuntu guys. 10 million downloaders have already done, and just click on this image. Ubuntu is OS. Again, they have multiple versions of Ubuntu. Like Windows, we have multiple versions: Red Hat 6, Red Hat 7, we Red Hat. So which version you want to download? There are all these versions available: 14.04, 18.04, 19.10. Which version of Ubuntu you want to download? And if you don't want to download any version, right? So there is no way and the graphical you can use. So they're suggesting you one command. So if you want to download this Ubuntu operating system or CentOS operating system or Red Hat operating system, there is no graphical way, I believe, from here you can download. So you have to download from the command line. So you have to go to a command line where Docker are running and use a command called Docker pull Ubuntu. And then in Ubuntu, if you hit enter, they will download the latest version of the Ubuntu. Whatever the latest version over here, this one, latest 18.04, they will download. Okay, but if you want to download any other version, you can use colon and give the version name. Okay, so there is no space. This is your OS name or your Docker image name, then colon and the version that you want to download. Okay, so again I'm repeating, guys, if you want to launch the operating system anywhere, you require image. Depend where you want to launch. If you want to launch on the top of laptop, you require DVD. DVD is also contain your bootable image. Okay, you have to use this command. And for running this command, you want internet connectivity. My internet is very slow. Sometimes they keep on timeout. Okay, but it will download from you. And this is the command I used, and that is reason in the Docker images I can see Ubuntu version 14.4. Either you can use the word version or you can use the term tag. The same thing. Okay, they depend upon internet speed. In my case, it will show you in a minute. I already have downloaded, but they are giving this error keep on because my net is very slow. Is keep on dropping the data. Okay, so you can use this command, and after you download, if you run Docker images, you can see you have Ubuntu. Similarly, I have also downloaded CentOS OS, so you can download multiple versions, right? And finally, download the image. After you download the image, from this image you can launch your operating system. And I would like to give you one more vocabulary here. Okay, if you launch any operating system on the top of your hardware, they are known as OS. If you launch any operating system on the top of virtualization, these OS are known as virtual machine, VM. But technically they are OS only, but here they are also known as VM or guest machine. If you launch any OS on the top of cloud, again they are known as OS, but here they are normally known as instances. So in different area, we have a different name, right? Depend where you are launching. Similarly, if you launch any operating system on the top of Docker, we can say the OS. I don't think so. This is the wrong name, but these OS here are known as container. So if you launch any OS on the top of Docker, here they are known as container. Okay, so this is one thing. So technically, if you want to launch the OS view image, after you have the image, you can launch the OS. But before you launch the OS, you can confirm with the docker ps command how many OS are running or how many container running. There's a reason they show you container ID. So I don't have any container or the OS running. And if you want to launch the container or the OS, same thing, you can use docker run command. And here you have to give your image name that you have. So I'm just going to Ubuntu and version 14.04. This version I have 14.04. Okay, and if you want to launch it, after launch you want to get a terminal, so you can run the command, and also you want to get an interactive terminal, so that whatever command you run, they give the output back. You can use -i. T means terminal, I means interactive. So what I'm doing, whatever the image I have, version I have, I'm launching the OS from this image. Okay, and before I launch, let me open one more terminal in my base Red Hat, and I'm just using the docker ps command. I don't have any OS running. But guys, again I show you this command already. This command will launch the OS, Ubuntu, boot, and get a terminal login, console login of Ubuntu in 1 second. In 1 second the launch. Okay, and if you want to confirm, there's two way. If you see here, you was when this kind of command prompt, it means you are into your Red Hat. You was here. You was here. But if you launch the Docker and you are already login inside here, normally you get this kind of terminal. This is one of the small way you can check. Or you can use docker ps command. It show you I launched one new OS 33 seconds ago from this OS Ubuntu or this image. And every OS, guys, they give you one unique ID. Or because here the OS is known as container, they give you container ID. Is what 46EF. And if you see, guys, again your command prompt also show you 46EF. So this is a multiple way you can confirm. Okay, the new Docker OS has been launched. Okay, so if you see the OS been launched, it means whatever setup you have done till here is right. So I'm not going to give you the further commands in Docker. Okay, my intention was to give you how to set up the Docker. So because I think it will take some time, because a lot of guys doesn't have the Reddit ISO till now. So 1 or 2 days it might take to download and set up the things, right? So I don't want to take this training further. But again, one more very small thing, if you want to shut down this OS, you can use the command called exit. And if you see that you was in the Ubuntu, now you are again back to Red Hat. Okay, and you can do docker ps command also to confirm there no OS is running. Okay, you can also use this command. So technically, guys, from my end, I haven't discuss so much about the Docker. I will again come to guys online, sharing my video screen. Till now, I just show you how to create your lab. So in the upcoming class, you can take this. Today's class is just an introductory class. Don't consider this class in this 15 hour of our training. So 15 hours is reserved for you. From the next end, we will do average 4-hour class. So 15-16 hour we will dedicatedly give to this training, pure Docker. But before this training, I just want to sync two things. One, sync with me, with my thoughts, why I'm doing this training free. Because I'm working with a mission of making India future ready, where I would like you guys to think like a creator. So today's lecture doesn't give you that thought, but definitely the next lecture will give you that thought when I start going in depth and showing you lots of things uh, internally about the Docker work inside, how we can also create something like this. Okay, next lecture we give you that thought. And second, my intention for today is to uh, explain you to create your own lab in your laptop. So from the next lecture you can cop up with me. The two things was my intention. So take this lecture as an introduction lecture, but don't consider this lecture of main training of 15 hours. This is my main thing, right? So um, in the next training, guys, in the next lecture would be on Saturday. I suggest till that, please do this practical. Okay, and I'm repeating one more small thing, right? Before you do any setup of Yum, okay, please go to my video that I will share you in the channel about a Yum setup, because you have also have to set up one more Yum of this file. And this Yum I have configured for my DVD, because some software we might require in the next class, okay, that require software from your DVD. So this file I created today for to get the software from the Docker, but this file I already created. Okay, this is picking the software from a DVD that has some software that will use in the future. And how I configure this Yum and how the Yum work, I will share the video. Everything will be there, so don't worry. You will get the Yum setup. So I already told you guys for this training, right? I have some basics prerequisite for the Linux stuff. But those guys again who are new in Linux, don't worry. I have some recorded video. I'll share with you guys. So go through that video, how to install Red Hat, how to install Yum, and further also some basic topic might also require in the upcoming class. I'll share the video. First go through the video, then you can again take this topic from this particular video, because this video will share with you. Okay, so I think that makes more sense. So for today guys, I haven't take anything mean about the Docker, just give you the brief. One more last thing guys from my side, this is for me very critical topic, very important topic, and from the IIEC community I would like to authorize to give you a authentication kind of thing, that you guys are great in Docker. Because I told you we are going to take this training at a very different level, right? And we will only certify those guys who will take this lecture very seriously, who do all the assignment that I start giving the next weekend, who do all the practical things that we are doing here, right? Okay, and we have some way to check and to measure and to monitor. Will I keep on explaining the way? But right now guys, every lecture whatever you attend, right, you have to attend it either in the live streaming, or we will give the video you can attend within 24 hours, and you have to give the attendance. And the best way that I feel and right way to give the attendance would be something like this. Okay, I don't want to give you one form where you just tick and give the attendance. That doesn't make any sense, because I know you are the professionals guys, but sometimes some proxy also happen, right? So I don't want this, right? Okay, so right away to take the attendance is very simple. Whatever you learn in this 3 to 4 hours after my completion of the day, after I conclude, just try to recall, just try to recall whatever you learn. Try to recall those things. Okay, either you practice, but at least try to recall. Okay, and create one summary of these 3 or 4 hours. Okay, for example, today we'll learn how to set up Docker. Today we'll learn how to what is image. We have 4 way to launch the OS. All the things, just try to recall and create one summary of 4 or 5 lines. Okay, and after you create this summary, okay, this will give you insight. Okay, the biggest insight is, what I want, your 4 hours, whatever you are diverting here, okay, it would be very valuable. And it will be valuable if you try to do a self reflection of these 3 or 4 hours. And best way to self reflection is, after 4 hours, just try to rethink whatever you learn, whatever, how this thing solve your use cases. Not for today, because we haven't discussed a lot of thing about today. I'm talking about next classes only, from onwards. So how these the things is been solved my things. Okay, what are the topics we learn, what are the command we learn. Try to recall those things, create a summary of 4 or 5 line, one paragraph, one page maybe, right? And put in the comment of this video, this the session is completed, right? And this will help us in one form. By looking at the comment, we come to know, right, your use cases, where you are fitting this Docker in your industry. Plus, by putting these use case, I will take your comments as your attendance. Okay, and guys, we have created one crawler with some machine learning and some NLP. Every 24 hours we run this crawler. Okay, and we pick your ID of time ID and the content from the crawler, and this crawler will help us to give you the attendance. Okay, and this crawler also help us to see the duplicacy. If you see we have two duplicacy in two comments, whatever the comment come first, we'll pick those things. And what the content they are not making sense in the terms of attendance and comment, we won't give the attendance. So we have created some kind of special AI kind of crawler here to make our thing faster, because we are getting thousands of comments as attendance. So to make the thing faster or make it workable, we have created some tested crawler AI with the use of NLP something we have created for you. So I think you guys make sense. So every training after the day, I want you to do a self reflection. Think, does this time is worth for you? Okay, are you getting something new? What you are getting, what you understood, what you don't understood, pick on the comment. Okay, that's all. So this is the way I would like to take the attendance. Plus, we are going to give a lot of assignment in the future. Okay, so we have a huge volunteer team. I already tell you, those volunteers will um, help us to monitoring your stuffs. So I don't want to guys leave you like this. I know you guys are professional, but I just want to track the progress of this training, right? Because I'm very serious about my campaign, right? I don't want guys any feedback, right? I don't want you promote us, because I we are doing is for the great cause. But at least I want those guys who are connected with us. So I just want to take a responsibility of you guys to train you in these technologies, right? That's all, guys. Thank you very much from my side. And if you want to connect with me, these are some link of LinkedIn, Insta, or the FB. You can directly connect me. And if you have some use case also, even though we haven't discussed anything great today, but you can connect me online in any of this medium. So I will definitely help you, right? So that's all, guys. See you guys next weekend. Our main training of Docker we will start for the next weekend, and that's all. Be ready with your setup by the next weekend. So we will directly jump dive more code core use case of the Docker by that time, right? Thank you very much, guys, and that's all, guys. See you. Bye. Take care. One more thing, guys. I'm starting my Q&A. If you have any query till now, you can ask me. Just give me 1 minute, right? I'm just starting my Q&A. So my Q&A has been started. Live chat. I am just setting hi. Okay. So if you have any queries, guys, uh, that you want to discuss with me, you can put here. So I will have to help you. And if this Q&A doesn't pop up, again, refresh your page, or just go back, come in, it will pop up, right? Okay. Thank you, guys, very much for not for this coming this training, because we have to mutually share the knowledge. So I'm not thankful for this part, but I'm thankful because today I am having a very bad network, and you guys are bearing those things. So that's the reason I would like to thank you, guys. Yes, Senthil Kumar, I have a very great use case for serverless and for function as a service, and for Lambda also. I'm not talking about AWS Lambda, I'm talking about the Python Lambda. So if you want, in the upcoming class, I'll take some use case of serverless where you can use the container, even though lots of cloud also using a container as a backend for the serverless. So I will definitely discuss, but not in the coming class, maybe in after we will discuss uh, we have discussed almost all the thing about the Docker. I will definitely take this topic, okay, as about the serverless. So I will definitely surely will do. Okay. I know Prakash video is not completely clear. I do agree with you because of my internet speed, but I suggest, because this is the YouTube live streaming, they recorded every bit of mine. Might be screen not so much clear, but my voice is clear. From my voice, you would able to understand at least what I'm talking about. Technically, we haven't done any technical thing today much. What are some command we do, we it just keep on repeating in the next class, but today uh, I talked about the how what we want today, right, to just get you setup ready. Okay. Guys, don't the guy who don't know the yum command, because yum is a prerequisite for this training. So I will share one link of my video where I explain you about the yum. So go through this video first, then come back, you will very easily understood what is yum. Okay. And how to do the attendance today, whatever we learned today, even though we haven't learned so much, but I just give the idea, about Docker will launch in 1 second. We have 4 way to launch the operating system, or some of the basic command I show you. So those things you can put at attendance today, but not so much, but very basic thing you can put, right? Oh, but if you have some more use cases to be discussed, you can put there, so we can go through the comments. So we also try to inculcate those things in our upcoming classes. Okay. Guys, we will provide the link in your channel, right? So IIEC channel of your Telegram, we will put the link of this video plus the yum other video in the channel. And those guys who are not a part of the channel, you just please check your mail. We will mailed you already how to connect the channel. So we have some private channel, so you can put there. Chin GV, we will in upcoming class, if you want, I will give the difference in RKT, Rocket, and the Docker. But let me first explain Docker first in the next class. that will makes more sense to discuss about the different tools available in the market, like maybe Rocket, maybe Vagrant, maybe other environment. Okay, so yes, we will provide you a recorded video, Ravi. We will provide you the recorded video. Okay, so if something you miss, if something you want to recall, you can again get it back. Thank you, Shashank, very much. Uh, okay, even though guys, frankly saying, a lot of guys saying they learn a lot of new things, but frankly saying, um, I haven't technically start much today. But the main core of the Docker, from very basics, I would like to start from the next class, from next weekend. Today just I just give you very high level intro. Okay, network issue, guys. I don't have control in my hand. I have three network connections right now with me, but none of the connections were working. But I'll again try to connect my ISP. I don't so from the next weekend you will get the same issue, right? But last 2 or 3 I'm facing this issue, but otherwise other sessions was working fine, right? Podman also I'll try to guys discuss in the Podman, and the Docker training somewhere I'll touch to discuss something about Podman, so you'll get the high level idea how the Podman is working. Okay,